Hello, people. Welcome back once again to this very special tarot reading session today on December 14, 2020. This is also has been a solar eclipse day. It's also the last new moon of this whole year 2020, which has been a rather difficult, rather demanding years for many of us in many different ways. So at the end of this different year, I think it's time to lighten the mood a bit and do a little fun light-hearted reading, naughty or nice, which is very appropriate for Christmas time. At the same time, it's also, as usual, meant to be a reading which will bring us guidance from the Spirit, and including on the lessons that Spirit thinks we should embrace at the end of this year. No matter how naughty or how nice we've been throughout this year, I'm sure a lot is excused to us with the way things have been. And it's time to take an overview with the Spirit's help, with the help of your higher selves, with the help of your guides and angels. So let's get started without wasting time in this pick a pile reading, where I have 4 different piles today. And we will all be asking about how we've been naughty or how we've been nice, and then we'll be taking an overview. We'll also be having some extra guidance over a top special question which you might be having in your mind. So one general guidance over that question or doubt or clarification from Spirit, and another card from the Keepers of the Light, giving you light guidance to unconditional love and support at this point of time, something which is much needed, which is intended to set your spirits high at the end of this year and make Christmas time a little more joyful and happy for all of us, no matter what's happened throughout the year. So let's get started. This is pile A, this is pile B, this is pile C, this is pile D. You just need to close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths, and intuitively just know what pile you're being guided to select. I also have a few Christmas decorations here, just things I've picked up from around the house, in case that helps. So go ahead if you were attracted to pile A, or this little pretty deer or reindeer, a salt dispenser, by the way. So it's really pretty, a gentle little animal. And if you guided to this is pile A, this is for pile B. These bells are for pile C, and this poinsettia is for pile D. So whether you're just attracted to the piles, you see the letter in your mind, or whether you're attracted after the couple of deep breaths, after going inwards, whether it's a decoration piece that guides you, just select whichever it is which beckons to you at this point of time. And remember, once again, this is a general guidance, so take it as it resonates, whatever makes sense for you at this point of time. And some things, as always, might make sense for you later in the coming months, and after a few days. Not everything makes sense right at the moment, right immediately, but I'm sure it will have some valuable guidance in some way or the other, big or small, for all those of you guided to any of these piles. If you want a personalized reading, a full detailed personal reading for any of your questions, or a general reading, feel free to get in touch with me through any of the ways which I've mentioned below the video, including my email ID, and I'll be glad to set up a distance tarot reading session specially for you. So let's get started. You can take a while. I'll just bring you the piles once again. This is pile A. Bring them nearer to the camera. This is pile B. This is pile C. And the final pile, this is pile D. Love this pretty little plant, but go ahead and choose whatever you're guided to amongst these piles, and we'll get started with your reading, naughty or nice. Welcome to the special new moon December 2020 Christmas time reading. Let's have some fun. All right, so let's get started with pile A. Those of you who are guided to this pile, let's get started with your reading. So let's first find out how you've been naughty or nice this year? I'm sure you would already have an idea within you, but just in case you had a doubt, here's Spirit to clear all your doubts away and let you know exactly how you've been naughty or how you've been nice. So here we go. All right, so this is how you've been naughty. People who were guided to pile A, I think many of you might have been naughty in a way that you have been, kind of stubborn. You've been stubborn with people around you. You've refused to see the points of views of others. Now, this is not meant to be a judgment. Remember, the guidance from Spirit, the guidance from your higher self is always loving and only for your highest good. So please don't take it ever as a judgment or a some kind of punishment or some kind of a criticism. It's always meant to be guidance, true love and unconditional support for you. So this is just to say that maybe because of how things have been this year, and you might have been feeling pretty challenged, you might have been feeling overwhelmed, but whatever it might have been, you have been more stubborn than you needed to be, sometimes refusing to see others' point of view, sometimes being too stuck or stubborn, and sometimes just enjoying, just having fun, just not even trying to consider other points of view, sometimes just stubbornly standing your ground even when it's not really being helpful, even when it's not really been opening ways for you. So you've been even when it means finding yourself stuck in a corner, driven to a corner, but you still haven't budged. So in a lot of ways, in some ways at least, it seems like you've been refusing to listen to a lot of people. Not all of that guidance might have been for your highest good, but even when it could have been helpful, even when people have had your best interests in mind, they have been well intentioned, you have been kind of too stubborn or too stuck or refused to see the whole picture in a way which could have been helpful, refused to see the higher perspective. As I said, this could have been because you felt overwhelmed or you felt too challenged and you felt too stressed out, whatever, but you have driven yourself literally into a corner. And this has not really been, you've not really been flexible. You've been also, it's possible you've been too harsh on yourself in doing this, and you haven't really, it's also possible you haven't given benefit of doubt to a lot of people, in this sense. And it's also possible that in trying to defend yourself against some people, against some energies, you've also, not been able to truly identify many others who were actually speaking out or actually reaching out to you in a good way. So you've kind of been against people, kind of being against, kind of being wanting to be in your own zone, not wanting to listen to people, categorizing them all in the same manner, and not being too discerning about who was good intentioned, who was not good intentioned, and putting them all in the same slot because of whatever you might have been feeling. And you might have also rubbed a lot of people a wrong way because of this attitude. You've like almost been defiant and taking things as a challenge, and been in that zone that you need to find a challenge when some of them might not really have been intending to put you in the spot in the first place. So that kind of thing. So too stuck, too stubborn, and refusing to see others' point of view in ways when you really didn't need to be that way. So these are some of the ways in which you have been kind of naughty. That's how Spirit puts it. Nice. Now look at what a nice card. Actually, this is such a nice card. So how have you been nice? You have been nice. So as I said, there is no black or white. There is no right or wrong. There is no two extremes. We all are in the middle. We all do good things. We do not so good things. We do, we are human, we are mortal, so we are learning lessons all the time. So a lot of ways in which you have been nice, ironically, along with this, while being this, is by trying to be fair. So you have tried hard in a lot of cases. You might have tried really hard to be fair, to be just, to be neutral. And Also, maybe it's possible that you've tried to solve a dispute between two different people in your life, maybe friends, maybe your close friends, maybe relatives, maybe people who know you. And I have a very funny feeling also when I look at this card. I feel it's possible you might have cheated a little bit, just a little bit, because justice, it's meant to be completely neutral, but it's possible you just had a little peek, cheated just a little bit, and so that you could give a judgment, or give your advice from a perspective which was a little partial. But wow, this was nice, because perhaps you were doing this only for the highest good. You cheated a little bit, but you did that because you thought that you really need to do that in order to bring out harmony, in order to bring balance between two different people whom you love, two different people in your life, two different friends, two different relatives, or it's also possible two different aspects of you. So in some way you have been trying to be a harbinger of justice, of fairness, of harmony, and standing up for what is right, trying to bring, solve discord, whether it's been for your own self or for two other people who mean a lot for you. In some way, you've tried to do that. You've tried to bring harmony or justice or solve a dispute, trying to be really right instead of being unfair, or you've tried to mediate something in a fair way, so that with the intention of it bringing fairness and greater harmony between people, and bringing people closer, bringing two conflicting groups, or two conflicting people, or two conflicting energies on a more equal level, trying to bring in harmony. So you might have done this, and so this is rather a nice thing to do. Wonderful. So you have been, even though you might have cheated a little bit, but the intentions were all right, because you thought that probably this is something you will need to do. You will need to play a little game or cheat a little bit, because ultimately you want to bring harmony and happiness between two conflicting groups or people, and you want all to be well for everyone at the end. You were guided by high intention. That's what matters, to bring in justice and fairness in a larger way. So you would know what this means, really. And okay, this is a card which is Spirit's guidance for you now. Largely how you might have been naughty or nice this year. This is a card which gives you an overall perspective of what your highest spirit guides, what your highest self now wants you to do, one highest action or energy for you to embrace, finally taken a complete picture of what it would like you to embrace now, know now, learn now, integrate now through these lessons, good or bad, so that you can bring in greater lightness and greater harmony and greater joyfulness at this point in your life. And we agree, lightness and joyfulness is something really, really needed at this point of time, especially in 2020 and especially at Christmas time. So let's see what this is. Wonderful. Children or childhood, revisiting old dreams or plans, embracing your inner child, the return of people or romances from your life, from your past, romanticizing how things used to be. So you are given all the permission to dream away, to connect, to go down nostalgia lane, think about how things were in the past. It's been a hard year, so it's time to just settle down and indulge in a few fond memories from the past. Maybe open your photo books, photo albums, maybe reconnect with some friends over the phone, or if you're able to meet them, great, you could do that. So it's time for some little festivity, like time for connecting with your family members, time for connecting with old friends. It's time for bringing, as I said, reconnecting with old joyful memories, going down memory lane. And those are things you could be doing. And this could also be connected with children. Maybe you have children around you, yours or others, and connecting with them in some way will definitely give you a sense of joy and lightness. And you could plan your Christmas around doing something with your kids or other kids. If it means something to you, your pets, if you have pets, they will be a source of joy. So just let it be a time of lightness around relatives, around friends, around old memories, doing little things away which brings joy and togetherness to you and your loved ones. whether it's speaking on phone or meeting up, connecting with children, just being with your pets. So just allowing it to be a time of harmony and laid back and not too much action, just being in that little comfort zone, relaxing, and that kind of thing. So this is the guidance which you really need. You've deserved it. Don't be too hard on yourself. You can daydream, you can think of fond memories of the past, as I said, nostalgia. Bring out those photo albums, sit down under your Christmas tree, sit down with maybe near the fireplace, and just indulge in fond little things, fond little memories and recollections, and connecting with your family, catching up, little conversations about the past, so all those kinds of things with your pets around you. A general cozy, relaxing, warm, loving, light-hearted atmosphere. And it's also possible that things from the past could be coming up now to bring you joy. News about people you haven't heard for a while, friends you haven't heard for a while, and reconnecting with family after a long while. All those things are possible, and in case you've been thinking of that, you definitely should try and make those kinds of plans if they are possible, because they will definitely bring you joy and happiness this point of time. And some good news about the family can also come up. Then I have a card here, which is a message from the light guardians, from keepers of the light. This is meant to be a beautiful message of love, guidance, and support, unconditional love. And let's see what message is for you. Serapis Bey Ascension. So it asks you to ascend, leave all lower vibrational energies, ascend up, rise up, because there is all the divine support for you to be able to do this. After whatever you might have gone through, it's time to rise up and feel light, literally. So ascension, it says move into your true self, rise above the darkness, the light is here. So no matter how dark you might have felt things are, no matter how heavy your energies might feel, how challenged you have been, and no matter how difficult it might be to believe this, but please know that the light is here. It is guiding you to seek it. It is trying to tell you that it's here. Even if it's difficult for you to know this or believe in it, it is there at all times, and it's supporting you. It guides you to rise up. It's there to take away your doubts, your worries, and support you with your challenges. There is love, there is light, and it's asking you to rise above all the darkness that you feel there might be around you, and to let yourself be surrendered to this light and to all the love, all the guidance, all the clarity. Light brings clarity. So you, as you ascend, you will be moving into clarity about a lot of things. So that is some guidance for you. And finally, here is a card which is meant to give you an answer. Of course, as I said, this is a general reading, but you will know if it makes sense for you now or in the coming days. If you have a very a big question or a top question, you would know what it is. If you have been thinking, grappling with a question, a doubt, or a clarification which has been majorly on your mind, trying to make a decision between two choices, or any other kind of doubt or clarification that's been there on your mind, this is meant to give you some kind of an answer. Take it with whatever it means, interpret it with whatever it means for you in your case. So for that question, doubt, or clarification, here is the answer. It says within the next few months. So I feel this is about something which you've been asking. For me, it feels it's possible you've been waiting for something good to happen with respect to your personal life, your career, or with some ambition, or something you've been trying to manifest or make, something you've been trying to materialize, something which you really wish to come true, which you've been waiting for. So the answer is, and you've been wanting to know if it'll happen and when it'll happen. So this is likely the answer for that. It says within the next few months, for whatever this means for you, in case you have such a kind of pertinent question for this, which this might be the answer. So well, group A, pile A, this was your entire reading for Christmas time, and I hope it brings you some clarity and some sense of well-being, some kind of support, and makes sense to you in some way. So thank you for listening to this, and now we will move on to group B. So okay, so group B was people who were guided to this. This is pile B or group B, and let's begin with them. So first of all, of course, how have been people who were guided to group B, to pile B, how have they been naughty this year? So let's see. All right. Okay, so this is King of Pentacles. It's a great card otherwise, but since it's come in the spot of naughty, so I feel that you've been rather indulgent this year, and you've been, you know, kind of chilled out, relaxed back, and you know, it's possible that you have it's possible that while a lot of people had a hard time, troubling times, you know, sense of lack, a sense of loss, it's possible that you didn't really have to face too much of that, which is not to say that that's a bad thing. Of course, that's a good thing. You exactly get what you know you deserve at any point of time. You are going through your life lessons. In any case, it's just that your life lessons were not meant to be through any particular sense of lack or loss this year, so which is great. You know, if things were still working out for you, very fine. That is always great. Spirit was watching out for you, but it gives a sense that you have been rather naughty because you have been rather overindulgent with all your you know, abundance, and maybe you are very well provided for, which is great, but it's just that you have taken those things a little bit too granted. That's possible. You know, especially in these times of difficulty for a lot of people, you have been probably maybe, you know, not given too much gratitude. You have been more indulgent than perhaps you ought to have been. You know, good food, good wine, and probably because you could, you know, do things from home, you couldn't go out, but that didn't trouble you, so you just use that, all of that time to just indulge and just have a good time, just be too laid back, or you know, too in your zone, just chilling out, and too much of that. So that's possible, and without giving too much you know, without caring too much for others who were not really in your zone or not really part of your life. So you have been you know, it's possible that you started relaxing because there was nothing else to do, and because you were at home a lot, and you know, good food, and getting carried away. But that, you got too carried away with that to a point that, you know, it became an addiction, and you got too much into the zone of, you know, no exercise, or just too much good food and too much alcohol, or just very little exercise, and just in your own indulgent luxury zone. So it's possible, and which might not have really done you a lot of good. It's not really about other people, but you know, so I don't have a sense of that, you know, most of you people would not do the same. You will not be generous with others, your friends, but because there was no one else, and probably because this is what you were doing, so this is something which would harm you in the long run. You know, it's something which, for your own sake, for your own good, this kind of addiction or too much being in this zone, it's not really for your highest good. So you got carried away with indulging yourself too much, and you know, living the good life, too much relaxation, too little exercise, too much in your zone of luxury, and because you have those things and you could afford it. So that kind of thing. And how have you been? Nice. Okay, the Empress. So see, this is all, both of these cards are about abundance. So I have a feeling that people who were guided to this pile B, have not really faced problems with their assets or their financial resources or with money, which is great. It's absolutely great. And you continue to be abundant, or perhaps you have, you know, by some windfall somewhere or the other, you have received more windfall. You've been become even more abundant during this period, which has been hard for a lot of people. But the good side is that you have you believe in prosperity, you believe in being able to materialize prosperity and abundance, and you have been able to weave your magic. You have been able to maintain your prosperity because you have that touch. You know, you've learned your abundance lessons, you learned your prosperity lessons, and you have not allowed the negativity or the toxicity or the heaviness all around to get to you. You have been able to maintain that abundant, fertile zone. So that's possible. And also it's possible that you've been that guiding energy, that earthy, generous, nurturing energy for a lot of people around you. Especially I feel this in case of females. If you're a female, you have been, especially if you're a mother figure, you have really tried to take time out. You've really tried to be there in your nurturing, generous instincts for all those people who are feeling down or out in so many ways. You've tried to do your best in helping them, be their support system, whether it's just through nurturing food, or whether it's being trying to pull up people who are feeling down, your family members or those who depend upon you. So you've tried to being that reassuring, earthy, healing, comforting, generous, fertile presence. It's also possible that some of you might have given birth to a baby this year at this point of time, and that could have really been a source of joy. So that's also possible, because this is a card of fertility. So it's possible that what you created, that the prosperity, the abundance you created, you received because you were open to receiving, you were open to abundance, you were in an abundance mode, a mode of creation, of receiving, of procreation, of being able to manifest abundance. So and prosperity, and there's the environment around is fertile. So it's possible that for you the abundance was this child or this baby. So that's very much possible. So but you were a source of joy and comfort and nurturing for other people also around you. So this is how I feel some of you have been trying to maintain that sense, that energy of prosperity and abundance, and trying to also encourage this in people, even when they've been down in the dumps, even when they've been challenged, even when there's been so much loss or lack for so many people around. You've been trying to pull up people and trying to make them see the good side, trying to make them know about their own energy to always be prosperous no matter what's happening, their own energy to manifest, their own energy to recreate, to receive whatever thing they might have lost. So you might have been doing that kind of guidance to a lot of people. Your presence might have been boosting up their attitude about prosperity, or help them look at a different, less negative way about their losses. Okay, so coming to your guidance from Spirit about the total overview of Naughty and Nice. What does Spirit finally wish you to learn or imbibe at the end? Finally, something which will help you feel lighter and better in the end of this year, at this point of festive time. Okay, so this is the Two of Swords. So I think this rather has a bit to do with the naughty side, the overindulgent side that probably some of you might have given into. This is the time to do some introspection. There might be something which you have been procrastinating about, not giving much thought to in this indulgence, that you'll do it later, probably something nagging at you, you need to do more exercise, or you need to pay more attention to something, or you need to balance things out, but you've been, given into too much relaxation, or, not giving thought to some other things which are just being too laid back, too lazy sometimes, or whatever it is. It's possible something has been waiting for you to make a decision and you've not been giving it thought. It is time for you to now give it thought, go inwards and take the decisions you need to take. Give them time, go inside, contemplate, reflect, sort out all the outer noise, and go in that heart-based space. Listen to your true guidance and take that decision, take that call. Okay, it also says, being unable or unwilling to make a decision, and follow your heart rather than trying to make others happy. Don't pretend there's no problem. If there's something which has been nagging you, if there's a decision you need to make about something, please do it. Don't continue to overanalyze, don't procrastinate, don't overthink, and don't dismiss it. Just you need to take out some time for it. You need to, even if it might be an uncomfortable task, please take that decision. Please go in that zone. There is something which is conflicting, something which is in duality, something which is confusing you, something which is at the back of your mind. It's time to give that thing time, and so that you can sort it out once and for all, either way. Then we come to your guidance from this beautiful unconditional love and light guidance from the Ascended Masters, from the Keepers of the Light. And this is your guidance. Mother Mary, what a beautiful card to get. It's all love and peace. It says, let go of the need to be right and choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. Beautiful. I somehow feel that this is connected with this decision that you need to take, this conflict, this doubt, this confusion, this nagging problem which you are kind of dismissing, something which you need to take a decision about. I feel to some extent that this message could also be related to this. Let go of the need to be right. So if there is some situation, something you are involved in about which you need to take a decision, and you're not being able to take a decision because you really don't know what is right, you really don't want to think about it because it's too unpleasant. So the guidance is let go of the need to be right. If it's some decision you need to make which will bring which is involved with harmony and love, which with bringing kindness and love, with ensuring that it's harmony and love around you and with others whom you love, and between that and between the need to be stubborn or right. So even if you know you are right on a certain stand, but you know in this case it will not bring harmony, it will not bring happiness to others, for this time, you know, because there's, of course, we need to be authentic and we need to stand up for what we truly believe it, but at certain times we all know what context that is. Sometimes the need to bring harmony and joy and kindness and compassion is much greater, especially when we know this is about people who truly love us. In their case, the need to be right or always, you know, have our own way is not always needed. So at this point of time, if this makes some sense to you, this is your guidance. If it can also help you take that decision which you need to take here. So let go of the need to be right, do the thing which feels kinder and more harmonious for everyone at this point of time, because this is about love and peace. So give more precedence to love and peace rather than to just being right. That is something which will bring you greater joy at this point of time and greater lightness in your environment. Mother healing is possible at this time. So I feel this is also for some of you who might be having issues with a mother, maybe womb healing, or with your children, some kind of tensions with grown children or younger children or teenagers, or problem with your own parents, or unhealed troubles, unhealed wounds or traumas connected with your own parents, or tensions. So this, especially with your mother, healing is possible. This can be a time of, you know, reaching a consensus, time of bringing greater harmony, bringing greater peace, embracing each other with joy. So, you know, things might get sorted out. A lot of issues, wounds, things which you might have nurtured for a long time, it's possible, totally possible for this aspect to heal at this time in a relation with a mother, with relation with a parent, or if you are a mother, in relation to your own children. So mother healing is possible if some of you have been having issues with a mother or with a mother figure in your life. So this is the time when peace and love can be achieved to a mature, peaceful, kindness-filled stand. And finally, for that question or that doubt or clarification, confusion which you might have in mind at this point of time, for which you need an answer, it could be again to do with this, but again with something else also. If something has been weighing in your mind, then this is the guidance for that by the divine angels for a question you have in mind. Okay, so it says unlikely. So whatever that means, if you've been asking about something, this is great. If you've been worrying about something, or if you've been fearing something, or if there's been something negative you've been thinking about, so it says it's unlikely to happen. But again, if this is something about a wish or something which you truly wanted to happen, or something which you wanted to happen in a certain way, it says unlikely, which only means that at this point of time, for the time being or for a little while to come, it's unlikely to happen right now. This is not a lifelong advice. It means for this time, the way the energies are, that event or that thing is unlikely to happen, or unlikely to happen in the way you exactly wish for it to happen. And if this is for something which is troubling you, something which you didn't want to happen, then this is of course great news in any case, that's unlikely to happen. So don't worry. So you would know what this answers for you. So well, group B, this was your entire reading, and not a nice reading. I hope it made some sense for you. It got you some clarity in some way or the other. And now it is time to move to the next reading, which was for people who chose pile C, or this little bell. So this is for you guys. This is your reading. So naughty or nice. So what have you been this year? Let's see. Okay, Naughty first. Let's go naughty first. So how have you been naughty this year? So I feel that some of you might have been, been a little smart. You might have been, a little smart, played a little extra smart with someone, a friend or someone from your past. It's also possible that you played little tricks. You handed them something, or you traded an item with someone who trusted you or who's a friend. Now this is not, I don't feel this you've done a major crime, or made cheating or anything, but just being naughty. I feel you've maybe sold an item for more than it was worth, or rid yourself for something which you didn't want and given it presented it of more worth to someone than it was, or some kind of trickery, or some kind of made a little fool of someone, and you've been a little naughty in that way and not given the true correct picture, I feel somehow. But of course it could be in some other ways also. So you have been kind of I feel you've in some way with someone connected with your life, someone coming up from the past, a friend or relative, or with some of your family connections, or with your own self in connection to the past, in connection to your past life, your family, whatever makes you feel happy, or memory lane, that kind of thing. In some way or the other, you are not being true to yourself about memory lane. There are some things you're denying, there's some things you're ignoring, or there's some things you are over indulging in, things which you need to let go of from the past because they are keeping you stuck. So you're not being able to let go, you're over indulging in them, or you are dismissing, you are ignoring some things from the past which you really need to bring to a healing. There's something from the past which needs to be healed, and you are ignoring that, because you're just running away from that. Or the other things that you've maybe not been completely honest or completely authentic or completely fair, or not in some way with some people from your past, someone who's come up from your past, and not giving them the whole correct picture of yourself, or not communicated or had an exchange in a perfectly authentic, honest, fair way. So something of that sort. So you would know what this means for you, naughty guys. Whatever you've done or not done, you would have an idea of this exactly, or whether it's something, or whether you're not being true to your own self in connection with something from the past. Okay, and how have you been nice? Okay, so you have been nice basically by being grateful. You have had, even amid all the lot of things that have gone wrong for a lot of people, and even for you this year, you have had still a lot going for you. Many of your cups full, many of your desires fulfilled, many of your desires or the blessings in your life standing intact. And the good thing is you have been aware of them. You have most likely not taken them for granted, and each day, a lot of times, you have totally been aware, and you have expressed gratitude to God for all those blessings and for allowing them to stay intact in your life, for all the privileges, all the little blessings. You have been grateful, you have felt happy, you have sent thanks. So that is what I feel has been the biggest blessing, and you have not taken them for granted. You have not forgotten them with all that's been happening in the world. And I feel you've also along with that, you've also feel taken time to go inwards, probably even meditate, or try to learn to meditate if you've never meditated before. But in some way or the other, you have tried to take all the me time that this period has afforded you, the past, the lockdowns or whatever else. You have tried to use that period by being grateful, first of all, for all the things which are still working out beautiful for you, for the many blessings. And maybe you have in some way this period has ended up giving you some more blessings which you never expected. Maybe like you traveled a lot and you had no time, but now it you still have your work, but you don't need to travel as much. So a lot of things, and you have used this time wisely also by trying to contemplate, by going within, by trying to connect with spirit, by meditating, or just relaxing in nature, and connecting, communing with nature, connecting with your inner self, connecting with inner guidance, connecting with spirit, just breathing in, just meditating, or just doing yoga, or just being peaceful, connecting with the peace within you, connecting with nature. So you've tried to use that time in this way, which is a great thumbs up, a great thing to do, a great way to be. If we can connect with ourselves and we can be connect with nature, and we can be grateful for all that we have each day, those are some of the best things we can do every day in life. Okay, so now your card from Spirit about what Spirit wishes you to do finally, in an overview at this point of time, what it wishes you, guides you to embrace, of course with your free will, in light energy, in when we work through the light, when we work through the angels, when we work through all that is love. There is no forced thing ever. Everything respects your free will. It only guides you, it will never enforce you. Lessons will keep coming to you, whether you learn them or not is up to you. They will keep coming back again in bigger ways and harder ways, but nothing will be forced upon you. So you will be the only one who will be reaping whatever you're sowing, the good or bad. But it will be only through your free will that you will be accepting or not accepting the guidance which is being given to you for your higher good. So this is one of those guidance. Okay, so this is the guidance, the illusion of being trapped. Accept responsibility for your situation, make choices that support your path to happiness. Addictions or unhealthy habits. So it's just guiding you that in some ways you've been really nice, I think here you've been mature in a lot of things, but in some ways maybe to do with this first card, the things where you've been naughty. So this is usually guidance for this. So what is it that you have been addicted to? What you are, there have been some self-sabotaging patterns in your life, some things which you are refusing to learn, some things which you are dismissing, some things which you need to pay attention to, or some kind of bondages, some kind of chains, whether they are created by your ego, by your habit, by some kind of relationship with someone from the past. There is something which you need to let go of, something which is taking away your power, something which you're ignoring, something which you know is not doing you good, and yet you're not able to let go of it. Whatever that is, some pattern of thinking, some habit, some way, some relationship from the past, something is there in your life, and you are not breaking those chains. You are allowing yourself to be addicted to that way of being just because it's comfortable or familiar, just because thinking about it or working on it, healing it, working on detaching from it, working on taking your power back is too inconvenient, too demanding, too troublesome, too much work, too hard. So you're letting it be that. Please do not do that. Whatever addiction, whatever unhealthy habit, pattern of behavior, or unhealthy pattern of thinking it is, which is repeatedly a part of your life, it's not something new. Repeatedly this pattern comes into your life, this way of being, this way of dealing with a certain thing. You know what this is. It is time to let it go, otherwise this will keep on following you and making things miserable for you. So at this time, because remember this is a message which is intended to bring lightness into your life, so when you do this, please do it. If you've been at it for a long time, please, now's the time to really give your all to it and let go of this habit or this relationship or this way of being, something which is taking away your power of it, or if it's a person who's taking away your power, detach. Now is the time to take your power back, because this thing, whatever decision this is, or giving up a habit or an addiction which is wrong for you and you've been in it a long time, this will bring you so much lightness, so much joy. It's worth it. So please, this is your highest guidance at this point of time to do this. Finally, you have this card, your message from the light guardians, from the keepers of the light. What does it say? It's wonderful. Kuan Yin, this is so beautiful. She's the Buddhist goddess of compassion, of love. She brings so much kindness and healing in your life. It says, choose to be loved. Do what is right for everyone included. Offer a helping hand. So this is self-evident, whatever this means for your case. So this guides you to act in whatever this situation is about. This is in your general life, to act with care and compassion, and to do whenever you're required to do something, especially at this time, do it in a way that is for the highest good of all involved. Of course, be authentic, be true to yourself. Don't do anything which takes your power away, which makes you feel weak or powerless, or which makes you feel exploited or manipulated, because that's your guidance. Don't do that, of course, but you will know when at what time what this means for you. So do things which are for the highest good of all. And also when you break away negative patterns, or even when you're being authentic, and when you stop yourself from being exploited again and again, or being a part of things which are not for your highest good, you also do good for the others who are involved with you in those patterns. When you take your power away, your power back from those who are misusing it, those who are exercising domination over you in some ego-based ways, you also do good for the others, because it helps them also to be set free. Because remember, every interaction, every relationship is an exchange. It has lessons for both the sides. So when either side learns their lesson, it also allows the other person to be able to learn their lesson through a hard way or the good way, whatever it is. So this is guiding you to do what is right for everyone involved. Choose whatever you choose through love, and which means, of course, love for your own self. Do the right thing. If you feel that doing something makes you happy and it also has everyone's highest interest, please go ahead and do that. So choose to be love. And you can also tune into the energy of Kuan Yin if you are feeling unloved or in a place where you don't know, where you're feeling lack of compassion for your own self. Please ask Kuan Yin's energies, tune in. She will help you, she will guide you, she'll support you with all the healing and love and care. And finally, wonderful. Okay, so this card is for that question which you have on your mind, that nagging big or exciting question, or that clarification or doubt which you, even as I look at this card, which you might have on your mind right now. This is the answer most likely for that, and it says perfect timing. What a wonderful card to receive. So if this is about something which you've been wanting to do, some action you've been wanting to take, or maybe this habit pattern you've been trying to break, or some relation you've been trying to take a decision about, or whatever it is, something, or a goal or idea you've been wanting to go ahead with, or a move you've been trying to make. So whatever that question, big question, what it would be pertains, for which you were thinking about before I picked up this card, this is your answer. Perfect timing. Now is the time. This is the perfect right energy, right time for whatever that means. It is perfect timing. So it's like a go ahead signal, a green light for you to go ahead. So wonderful. So that was, guys, that was a reading, a complete reading for all of you people who chose pile C. So I hope it made sense for you. I hope it brought some clarity for you. And now it's time to move to my final pile here, this poinsettia. Okay, so it's time for me to move to that, and to people who chose pile D. So guys, for people who chose pile D, here we come to your cards. Naughty or nice? First of all, how have you been? And how have you been naughty? How have you been nice? So first of all, how have you been naughty? So you have been naughty, guys, by being restless. You have not really been too grounded. Now again, this is, as I said in the first pile, it's never meant to be a harsh criticism or a judgment when we are talking to the spirit, when we are receiving higher guidance from our higher self. It's always messages which they give us in unconditional love, because they want nothing but our best. So they only give us honest, clear advice out of the unconditional love for us, and for us to be able to move ahead and progress in life. So this is that card. You have not been really grounded. You've not been really rooted to earth. You've been kind of restless, and you might also have done a bit of naughty things in that restlessness, like take impulsive decisions, ego-based decisions, maybe gone around being too restless and done things. Maybe you were at home a lot and you didn't like it, and you were just creating trouble for everyone, creating being a pain in the neck for everyone around you, and complaining, or being a troublemaker, or being restless, or just not staying grounded or calm, being an over anxious energy, just wanting too much action when you could not have much of it. So you were just doing things for the sake of it, to create a sense of action and energy, because you cannot stay grounded or peaceful, and so that kind of energy. So it's possible you created a bit of self-destruction or destruction for others, not, I don't think, in much serious ways, but in little ways, to the point when maybe someone in your home, or a parent, or someone else, or a partner might have said, okay, stop it, you're being too annoying, that kind of energy, and not allowing others to have peace or rest, and demanding too much attention because you want action, or you want that kind of thing, and being not thinking out things too much before action, not thinking too much before speaking, just getting carried away, and by the mood of the moment, and doing things which you shouldn't be, being too hasty or impulsive, and too without thinking things through. So that kind of energy I feel. And in that you might have created quite a bit of little messes around for yourself or for people. So that in your also in your eagerness to do a lot of things, or in trying to be helpful for others during this time, maybe but the help was like not well thought of, or it was like too much need for action. But when action is not really needed, when sometimes you need to be grounded, you need to be more thoughtful, you just need to be in that mode instead of going out doing physical actions. So that kind of thing. So I think you need to take it easy, a little bit easy. You need to take a more mature view of things and be a little more grounded, a little more rooted, a little more inwards, self-respective. How have you been? Nice. Let's have a look at that. This is a very exciting card because you have the Devil card, but because this is the card for how you've been nice, I feel that some of you have been able to, somehow, because of the period, maybe because you've had the time, the kind of, in some ways, even though you've been this naughty in different ways, restless and not always thinking impulsive, but also in some other ways you might have been able to have a clearer look at some of your addictions, some of your old self-destructive habit patterns or ways of being. You have been able to let go, which is absolutely great. Some of you might have actually been able to go deep enough and work deep enough and really make an effort to clear out or start clearing out some things which have been going on with you, which were not for your highest good, or because of the lockdowns or things, it afforded you opportunity, or it forced you into a zone. It forced you literally to have a look at those things which would no longer work and which you were allowing to work, even though they were really negative for you, really self-sabotaging. So it forced you in a way to have a look at those things because it left you with no other choice. That's also possible. But you were able to, in whatever way, whether out of choice or because you were forced to, you were able to look at some of those really negative self-sabotaging patterns which were taking away your power to be at your highest, most authentic self, and you've been able to clear that out in a lot of ways, in at least some major way. And also I feel that you might have helped others. Now, because this Page of Wands is not always negative, you've been naughty in a lot of ways. As I said, sometimes you might have been wanting to be really helpful to others but getting in the way of others, too much action. But some of those actions might also have been nice because you were wanting to help people, wanting to be here and there, do things for people. So sometimes you also might have ended up being actually helpful, and you might have actually helped people deal with their addictions, people deal with their own negative self-sabotaging patterns, or maybe even your friends, even your peers. Some people being able to, because with your excited energy or energy of wanting to help and action, in some cases it actually might have helped people. You might have said, okay, come on, I'm going to help you with this. No, let's do it. We are going to do it. No, I'm going to make sure we're going to do this, and we're going to clean up your house, or we are going to make a list of this, or I'm going to come over. No, I'm going to help you with the action. Don't worry. No, I'm going to be, you're not going to be doing. So, in a way, help people and prevent or avoid procrastination, and you've been there for them and help pull them up into action zone and take care of things that they needed to take care of, but which they were procrastinating or postponing, or which they were not feeling too good about, or they were not feeling too supported with. So it's possible you helped them deal with some things they needed to clear away in their life which were not for the highest good, some addictive patterns, some self-sabotaging behavior. You were able to help them clean up their act and be there for them, or you were able to point out to them what these things were and show them the light in some way, and help them know that no, don't do this is not going to be for your highest good, or no, this person is not really what you think this person is, so it's just taking away your power. So in some way you were able to, with yourself or with others, break these negative patterns which take away your power, negative addictions, negative ways of being, self-destructive ways. So in some way you were a light onto these things. Okay, so these were great cards, I think. And now your overview of the nice and naughty. What does Spirit finally wish you to know and do? Finally, with the overview picture, which something which will now finally at this point of time help you feel lighter and better and bring in more joy at Christmas time. Okay, so I feel this is about more about how you've been. So this is asking you to be more grounded. Now you've been this impulsive, action oriented, wanting to have some action, wanting to move around, wanting to be too eager for action, too eager to do everything. From this, it's asking you to have a more grounded energy, and to be a little more grounded, a little more thoughtful, to go deeper into things rather than just into superficial looking for action all the time, to go deeper into things. This is about being loyal, dedicated, protective, apprehensive, plan carefully. So sometimes plan carefully before taking action. It's great, you take action, you mean well, you're dynamic, you like to take action, you don't like to sit around and just think and think and think things over. But sometimes thinking exactly is what is needed. Thinking, thought, careful planning instead of just rushing into action, sometimes that is needed. So you need to do things from place of greater action, greater planning, greater groundedness, greater thought, greater reflection, greater maturity, and wait for the perfect time rather than rushing headlong into everything. So this is what is needed. And also it says a guardian angel or someone who watches over you. So you have someone watching over you, or you could also be that guide or guardian on the earth, of course, for some of your friends. So you have that energy to be this person for someone. So this is your guidance to be in this zone, and also to be this person for someone else, more mature, more grounded, more solid, and someone who's patient enough to learn, to take time and thought to learn some lessons, to do some things instead of always wanting to rush headlong into the first impulse that comes to them. So this will really do you good and bring you joy and happiness at this point of time and in the months to come. So this is your guidance. And then I have, of course, your guidance from the light beings, from the masters of the light, from the ascended masters, keepers of the light. And this message is so much love and light. What do they guide you? Okay, it says Odin, psychic insight. Wow, your third eye is open, guys. Your third eye is open, or it's opening, or there is a great potential for now for it to open, allowing you to have sharper clarity, even clairvoyance, and be able to see things, perceive things, which not just through your five senses, but beyond, which the insights, the information which comes from the light, which is beyond the five limitation of our five physical senses. That is the possibility. That's beautiful. See truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. So if some of you have been having strong intuitive insights, strong dreams about some things, this is a reconfirmation that yes, these intuitions are right. They are meant to guide you. Pay attention. Your intuitive insight, your third eye is opening up. Intuitive insight is developing. So give it more attention. Work more in it. Practice more. Give it more time. Allow it to develop, work on it, seek guidance. So because this is the time you will be able to see a lot of things in a much clearer, sharper, focused way, things which never occurred to you, or which a lot of people around you might not even perceive, might kind of be dense to. You will see them like this. You will just see, you will know the truth. For a lot of things, you will have that clarity of seeing inside you, and that clarity, so to say, of true clairvoyance also, which is being able to see through your third eye, see things, know things. Maybe when you meditate, you get answers, you see clearly things in a visual way, images coming to you, messages coming to you through visual imagery, because that's how your guides are connecting to you. That, and you will see a lot of things, get a lot of answers. You will just know that this is right. You will get a lot of intuitive insights for your answers for your life at this point of time. So follow this. This is the time to develop your psychic insight. The energies are right and they are supporting you. And finally, we come to that final card. If you have a big question right now on your mind, or something which you've been having on your mind since a while, a big question or a big doubt or clarity, something you've been trying to make a decision, or something you really would like guidance on, something on your mind, a question or something, this is the likely answer for that. Okay, that's what it says. There's something better. So if you've been worried about something, or if you felt disappointed about something not going a certain way, maybe at work or in a different aspect of your life, or you feel you've missed a chance, or anything at all pertaining to this, it says this is a message of hope and much optimism, because it says there is something better. So even if you feel you might have lost out on something, or not received something you wanted to, or it's not turned out your way, or you've still not received it, it's always for a good reason, because there is something better. Or if there's something right now which you're asking about, if you should manifest that or if it'll come to you or not, it says there is something better. In every case, in any way, in whatever way it means, this is a great answer, because whatever this is, whether you yet to receive it or whether you're feeling disappointed for not happening or not receiving it, there is something better, and that's the reason you will be guided to that. Let go and seek what guidance for what there is better. It'll come in the divine timing, right timing. There is something better to that which you might not know right now, but it's happening for a reason. It's happening for a reason. There is something better related to that which will happen. Something better. If it's a job, maybe there's a better job which you couldn't even have thought of. If it's a relationship which didn't materialize, a romantic relationship, something else, because there is someone better. Whatever it is, there was something better to come. Even if it's a disappointment, it's because there is something better out there which is meant to come through it. Okay guys, so here were all your cards. Here was your guidance. This was final pile D. So I hope all of you, whether you were guided to pile A, B, C or D, did get some insight. And as I always say, tarot guidance does not always make sense just over a single reading, just over a single day, especially for any of you who've not been used to going deeper or connecting with your intuition or insights, who've never done that kind of inner work. For you, it can take much more time, but give it time. If you trust, just let go, and it will make sense for you if it is meant for you. If it's meant for you, it will make sense. You will be able to see things clearer. So I hope that it all brought some message of love, some support, some clarity to you, and you will be able to make use of it in some way. Well, that was it from me today. I hope all of you, no matter how this year has been for you, will find a lot of light. You will connect to light energies. You will find optimism. You will find positivity for yourself and for others around you at this Christmas time, which is coming, and at the end of this year. And I really hope that 2021 brings us all a lot of joy, a lot of more optimism, a lot of more strength, courage, and the ability to have a clearer vision, a 2020 vision, which this year has been trying to teach us. A 2020 clearer vision, sharper insights about all that there is. And I really hope and I really pray that the truth shines the light for every one of us and brings solutions through the light for all of us, and the highest solutions come for all of mankind in all the things. And with that, it's time for me to sign off. All you guys, have a happy Merry Christmas, and have a happy beginning to a new year, and whatever else you celebrate, may it all be happy. May light flow to you, may healing flow to you, may harmony flow to you, may divine support flow to you. And I will meet you again in another reading at the beginning of the new year 2021. Please take care, and have a happy day, night, wherever you are. Bye for now.